Hi everybody, it's Kenzy Knoxx and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to try painting on something a little different. This is an Arteza paper canvas cutout thing that you can turn into a 3D so it folds up like a half-inch canvas panel. So let's give it a shot and see what happens. It is a 9.5 by 9.5 square frame canvas. Of course, you can paint this on any size canvas that you have, or any size material or type of material that you have. But we're going to do a little mountain painting, so have little mountains with some trees and whatnot. And it allows you to paint over the edges so that you can continue the painting over the edges. So I thought that was pretty cool and something neat that we should try out. So let's go ahead and add some colors to our palette. So I've added a few colors to my palette, and here they are: titanium white, cobalt blue, dazzling purple, light olive green, sap green, light blue violet, burnt sienna, quinacridone magenta, cadmium orange hue, cadmium light yellow hue, and raw umber. So add those to your palette and let's get started. I'm not going to spritz this down because it hasn't been, I don't know if it's primed with gesso or not. I should have primed it with gesso. I wasn't thinking. But we're just going to see what happens. So I'm going to start off using, since this is a 9.5 by 9.5, my just size 8 filbert brush here. I'm going to get that a little wet. I'm going to tap into some light blue violet and come over here and start painting in the sky over here. And I'm sure it doesn't matter if you go over the edge over here. I'm just going to start painting this in. It is smooth, I'll give you that. And I kind of like that the edges are right there. Got a smooth surface. It's not soaking up the paint, so that's good. I'm just going to take this guy all the way over. I'm sure these little corner things don't matter. I think they get hidden, but you never know. And then over here, I'm going to paint this down to approximately here. Build this in a little bit real quick. I'm going to paint some clouds in over it. So there's no tooth to it, which makes me think I should have gessoed it, but it's okay. It's like 100% smooth. No ridges or edges to catch. Like if you want to use a palette knife, it might be difficult. So I'm going to take that down a smidgen more. Okay, and then let's map out our mountain. So before we do that, I guess we should add our clouds. So grab some titanium white, and I'm going to paint a little cloud over here, coming in. So a little cloud under here. Coming in, and maybe they meet. And let that blue underneath kind of blend in. Have this cloud come down a little bit. Maybe this one just comes down. Behind the mountain. And I'm going to have it carry over. Something like that. And then you can make some areas whiter if you want them to be whiter, like up in here. A little bit over here. And then maybe some just small ones jutting out. Some frilly ones. Get the brush a little wet. Rinse that off. And then just soften these ones a little bit. Creating a haze. Around the mountains, or around the clouds. Okay, add a little bit more white. Okay, rinse that off. And then let's add in our mountains. So going with some burnt sienna and some dioxazine purple with a little bit of magenta and a little bit of white. We're going to get this cool purpley brown mountain. I'm going to start, I don't want to start in the middle, so I'm going to start, the middle is right here, so I'm going to start over here. Now this mountain here, come down, drop down and over, and then have it come down this way. You make a point, come up over this way. I'm trying to think of how far I want this mountain to go. Well, this mountain is actually going to be semi-covered by another mountain that's going to come over like this way. But I think it's going to be much higher, so this mountain needs to go higher. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, so that's the top line, so we want a mountain up here. And maybe have another mountain up here. That comes down and have this mountain peak. I'm going to grab some burnt sienna, a little bit of white in there. I'm going to make this side warmer. So I'm going to have this mountain come out wider. And maybe have another mountain up this way. Out like this. And carry that over. And then this is going to have a warm side to it. And this might have a ridge going that way. That's also warm. Which means that I want to take that cool color again and come in right over here. Okay, rinse it off. And I'm going to take some cobalt blue. This will be the shade of our next mountain, which will come from up here and down. Maybe it's more like a hill. It's going to come down to about there. Then we'll have another mountain cut over. And then another one cut over. So this one will cut over to here. About there, so we can just paint this one in with our cobalt blue. I'm really excited to see what this turns out like. I guess if you wanted to, you could fold it up first, but it's up to you. I'm going to take some light blue violet with my cobalt blue and fill this in. Then this will come down to the top of this guy. So it's cobalt blue, light blue, violet mixed together. I'm going to stop around here, rinse that off. So I've got olive green. I'm going to come over from about up here and come over to maybe down here, maybe a little farther over. Just paint this in olive green. This painting is an easy painting that anyone can paint. You can paint on any size canvas, obviously. It doesn't have to be 9.5 by 9.5. But anybody should be able to do this. So from beginners to intermediates and even advanced painters. Let's paint that all in olive green and rinse your brush out. And you see the see-through spots, so I'm going to take some light olive blue. Careful for drips. I also want to see if I could. It's like if you mess up. Oh yeah, you could get it off. Okay. Now that we get that all painted out, I'm going to take some more white with the clouds and just come up over here. Just add a little cloud over here. Take a little more white. I'm going to do like a little jetting cloud over here. Take some more white. Don't forget to cover up here. That's off the canvas. So this canvas is created by Arteza, I believe. Yep, Arteza. And it comes in a pack of 10, I believe. Oh, 20, pack of 20. And you can find it on Amazon. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little more white and make this more solid white here. Take some more white. Make this more solid over here. Okay, and a little more white. Make this solid over here. Okay, rinse it off. I'm actually going to take a little light blue violet and just add in a little bit of sky here and a little bit of sky over here. And maybe a little bit in here, a little bit in here, with some in here. Actually, that would be, have some sky come down into here, like that. Okay, rinse off your brush. Now we're going to use the side of our brush. I'm going to grab some titanium white with some light blue violet, a little more white, a very light blue violet color. I'm going to take this and come down the mountain like this. Just add some snow. Take that light blue violet. Come down this little side too. And then we're going to rinse that off. I'm going to grab a little Prussian blue. I'm going to add some Prussian blue. It's for light blue violet and titanium white. I'm going to use that. And we're going to come down the mountain. Any way you want. As long as it's on the dark side with this color. So we're going to have some slopes going like this. And I'm going to have some over here too. Okay. Then we rinse that off. We're gonna add a little light blue violet to our brush. I'm just gonna add a little light blue violet to this too. Let's lighten some of this up. Make sure you don't cover it all up. Rinse that out. Maybe we should say light blue violet with titanium white. Make it a little lighter. A little bit lighter. Okay, rinse that off. Then we're gonna go with pure white. Let's get some white on your brush. Might be better off if it's like a bit chunky. Like that, so you can add in random chunks. Add some more white. And add those chunks in. Okay, rinse that off. Add some snow drifts. So we're going to take some Prussian blue, some white. I'm going to start off with this here. So we're going to have a snow drift. We need more white. We're going to have a snow drift coming like this and down. And then we're going to have basically a cliff line that we won't really see, but something like that with these snowdrifts. But behind that, we're going to have some Damascene purple, some Prussian blue. Mix those together with a little bit of white. Add a little quinacridone magenta to it. We're going to take this more Prussian blue and create trees along right here. So we're just going to tap in some trees. So draw like a line and tap it in. They can be different heights too. Like that. Okay, rinse that off. And now we're going to add some other trees over here. So to begin off with, I'm going to start with some orange, some quinacridone magenta, and a little bit of white to make it more opaque. I'm going to take that and we're going to do lots of lines coming down like this, down this way. Okay, I'm going to rinse that brush out. I'm going to use a different brush to do this. Actually, I'm going to take my size 1 filbert brush because we don't want all this hidden. So I'm going to take some light olive green with some sap green, make a mid-green shade. And we're just going to start drawing in little lines like this. Separate them. And they can go into the paint, the color above. This gives an indication that these are trees. And you know what? This doesn't buckle that much. Like there's no bend really to it, which is nice. Probably would be better if it was flat down, but Not flat down. Okay, so then down here, I'm going to continue with this green color. Then we're going to take light olive green with titanium white to make a light olive green. I'm going to come in here. Add these in separately. Leaving spaces purposely, not coming down all the way. Okay, rinse that off. I'm gonna add a little orange to that color, that light olive green. Add some of this in here. Okay, and then we're gonna take some orange, magenta, and yellow for an orange color with some white. I'm going to take that color and add these into the trees. Okay, rinse that off. Can even take a little cobalt blue. Just finagle some snow down here. Take your sap green with your light olive green. Just pluck some trees in there so it breaks up the snow. Okay, and now we get to do the fun part. But first I want to take some burnt sienna with some titanium white. And I just want to add in some of the mountain back to this area. It's very common to cover up the whole mountain, so don't worry about that if you did. Also going to add some magenta and some dark steam purple to our burnt sienna. Take that color. Add some color back into the mountain. Okay, rinse that off. Okay, rinse that off. We're then going to take some burnt sienna with some Prussian blue. Create with a black color. This is going to be the fun part because we get to create trees. Got a tree back here. Maybe we should do some flat brush. I'm going to take my size 2 flat brush here. Size 2 flat brush, get that a little wet, tap up the drips. Grab some color up. We're going to have a tree here. And a tree up. Oh, yeah, we'll have a tree there. Tree up here. Some trees in the background too. And then this tree. It's gonna be a little hard with the paint still dry, so you can dry it off if you need to. So back to our color. This tree's gonna come up almost to the top. And come down. This tree is gonna come up right here. Then we're gonna have another one over here. Then we'll have some back here that are smaller. Then we'll have another big one right about here. Or not big one, but medium sized one. And we're gonna have a skinny one back here. And a skinny one back here. Then another one right here. And another one right here. Another one right here. Another one right here. Okay, excellent. So I'm going to take a little fan brush. I've got a size 2 fan brush right here. I'm going to use that. I'm going to tap into some olive green. And you're just going to do your standard tap, 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 tap. And these trees don't have to be fully loaded with foliage. Just a tap, tap, tap. Here and there. Is good. I'm going to be adding highlights too, so. Should mix up another color with it. I just like adding a tip to the tree. Now you want to take a step back and look at your painting and see if you're happy with it. I think I'm a little happy with it. So I'm going to take some Prussian blue with some of my sap green and mix that together to get a darker green color. I'm going to paint these ones back here. Slightly different color. Because they're back there. You can even add in. Then we can add some trees in the back with this color too. And we'll know that they're in the background. Just add some depth. And then we can add some more up in here too. Yeah, I think I like that better. Do you guys like that better? Okay, and then also we can just do the bottom of these trees with some of this color. Just the very bottom. Okay, rinse that out. Okay, and then I'm going to take light olive green, titanium white. Mix that together, and we're just going to highlight the tops of these trees right over here. Tap, 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 tap. And then as we get back here, this would be the last one to catch that light. So rinse that off. And I think we're going to take some sap green with some light olive green. Mix that together. I'm going to add a bit of a mid-tone in some of these. So don't touch the ones in the back. If not, canvas mid-tone. And just keep tapping this mid-tone in until you're satisfied with your painting. And basically this will bring out the highlights or the mid-tones in the shadowed areas that we made really dark. But it'll look really pretty in the end, I promise. And we're almost done. And I'm just going to go back in and tap in a few more of these mid-tones in the trees that we started off with. And then a little bit on the tops of the trees as well, where those highlighted sections are, but make sure you don't cover all the highlights because we want those highlights. Okay, rinse that out. So basically we just need to add some snow to the ground and into the trees. And so we're just going to take some cobalt blue and some titanium white and make like a light blue violet color. And we're just going to tap that in with our fan brush. So tap, 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 tap all over the ground and just space this out a little bit because there will be shadows in the snow areas. But we also want those highlights regions too. Then rinse out your brush once you're done. So next we're going to add some snow to the trunks of our trees, our evergreen trees. And I realized when I started this that I was taking off paint. So let's go ahead and dry off our painting real quick with a hairdryer, or you can let it sit for about 10 minutes and then we can start painting again. And then using our number 2 flat brush, we're going to go back in with that light blue violet color and create tree trunks for the trees in the foreground. Not the trees behind these trees that are very dark in color, but just the trees that are closest to us. I believe this is the second to last step in this painting, so congratulations, we're almost done our painting. We're just going to add in a few more tree trunks, and then we're just going to add a little bit of a shadow color to them, and I believe we'll be done. So go ahead and rinse out your paintbrush once you're done. And then we're going to add in some Prussian blue with some burnt sienna on the left side of our trees where those shadow regions are. And once you're done with the shadowed regions, we're going to go ahead and make a very highlight color with the titanium white. And we're going to add this to the top regions of our trees where the tree trunks are showing. And this will be the last piece of a puzzle. And we'll be done our painting. Yay! I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. I know I am. We're just going to add a little trickle of this on the bottom of the trees as well. And then this painting will be complete. So congratulations, we're done. And I want to thank you so much for watching my painting tutorial. Please remember to like this video and to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Okay, bye.